Asymmetrical distortion is used all the time in audio processing, mixing, and music production. Let's dive into the DAW and have a closer look at asymmetrical distortion. So here you see a nice sine wave. If I play A2 at 110 Hertz, you see that we have a single frequency right here and a nice sine wave inside the oscilloscope. Now, if we were to distort one side of this and clip it all the way down, we would get something like this, in the case of the positive being clipped all the way down, and we would get the resulting harmonics. You see that we have this same fundamental at 110, and then we've got 220, 440, 660, so every even order harmonic. Having a look at a maximally flat negative part of this sine wave, we get the same deal, where we have this fundamental and even order harmonics on top of it. This is in direct contrast to maximal symmetrical distortion, which would result in a square wave. If I play the same A2, you'll see that we have odd order harmonics here. So 110, 330, 550, 770, and so on. But in reality, we'll often get a mixture of both odd and even order harmonics with asymmetrical distortion because we aren't always going to have that maximally flat side of a waveform. Rather, we'll have something that looks like this as an example where there's just differences between the distortion that's happening in the positive versus the negative. As an example, I can play this A2 again, and you can see that we have a hodgepodge of different even and odd order harmonics here. Let's go back to the sine wave, have a look at an example of tube saturation. See a second harmonic start to creep up here. The oscilloscope is starting to show a bit of asymmetrical distortion, and you can see that we have both odd and even order harmonics. Guitar amps and guitar amp sims will also give us some asymmetrical distortion. Here's the sine wave being run through the archetype Nutley. You see that it is somewhat symmetrical, but ultimately asymmetrical. Now you know, get creative, use distortion, make great music.